Like I said, and there's people that blame Ben for everything from the excessive rain to everything is his fault. So I mean, he's going to have his people hating him, and no matter what. And so
I mean, there's people that because of past things are going to just blame him for everything anyway because they don't like him, which is understandable for those past actions, or situations he was in. So I mean, there's a lot of people that still have that and will never get past it, which I'm glad he at least apparently did in his personal life. So, but that's just always going to be in the back of people's minds, I think. So maybe some people tend to see that more so than with anyone else.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Anyway, on to the wild card games, which were amazing this weekend. Holy crap! Almost every one of them was close and interesting.
I wouldn't say amazing. That might be a word for it. Close, I'd say that. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of field goals.
Yeah, a lot of field goals. Defense combined with not so great offense.
Field goals and defense. Yeah, that was basically this weekend. But no, I don't think any field goals in the Indianapolis Houston game. Indianapolis beat Houston 21-7. I didn't see much of this game.
Yeah, I saw half of it. I was busy, but man, Indianapolis took a early lead and was able to hold that on.
I think, from what I understand, the Texans kind of were like the Steelers last year in that, yeah, you're 11-5. You won a lot of games, but a lot of them are, one of those close games that could have gone either way, and they just happened to go your way, and it just caught up to them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought them at home would still be good enough to beat the Colts, but Indy's done a good job of really changing that team around, getting the offensive line going, and improving the defense. I didn't see it being that kind of a game. I didn't think the Houston would only get 7 points.
At home, yeah. I mean, Indianapolis is just I'm just shocked that they are, it's not just Andrew Luck. I mean, they you got to have a good defense too to that, and that's
all Mike Mitchell.
It's all Mike Mitchell. Yeah,
he got hurt though, I guess, last game. But
I hope he stood outside the Texans locker room and yelled at them.
I'm gonna say he didn't, and that's probably why they. The Houston played like he was on their team yelling at the Colts.
Yeah,
but
I forget who somebody said on Twitter, like, oh, all these ex-Steelers might like Mike Mitchell, and they must be laughing like crazy at the Steelers right now. And he replies like, no, we're not.
So, he replied?
Okay, yeah. So that was pretty classy.
That's kind of funny that he said that.
Yeah. He's never.
I think he liked being here. I mean, I don't think they necessarily left on bad terms. I don't know what happened to him between last year and this year, unless he was the last couple of years he was playing banged up still and everything that maybe hindered his. Because when did he get signed? He didn't play for the first part of the season, right?
I believe
after an injury.
It was either in the middle of the regular season or like at the end of training camp or something like that. So
yeah. So maybe he was actually healthy, but I thought he had a couple good years here, and then the last couple he was starting to slide. But
so the next, so now it's Indianapolis goes to Kansas City.
Oh, geez.
Well, that's an automatic win. So Indianapolis will be facing the Patriots Chargers winner. Great. I have no faith in the Chiefs playing well at home in the playoffs. So
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if they can change that tide this year and at least win one game there.
Yeah.
I mean, the Colts are far from unbeatable, but they've been really good, though.
Yeah. Cowboys beat the Seahawks 24-22. What world do we live in that the Cowboys are winning playoff games?
Yeah, I know
What's
that.
happening?
I don't know. It's been what, their third or fourth one since like the last Super Bowl or something they won.
22 years, I think.
Yeah.
3 and 22 years.
So I mean, yeah, I guess we could complain, but we're also a little spoiled compared to that, things like that as Steeler fans. But yeah, I mean they played.
Somebody said something like, "Oh, you call Dallas America's team. Well, they've only won 3 playoff games in 22 years. Look at the Steelers. They're in the playoffs all the time, and they've won." Like, Steelers really haven't done much lately either. Like, in the last, I don't know, like 10 years or something like that. I don't think they've won all that many playoff games. So, we don't have much to talk about either.
It's unfortunate, at least for the Steelers too, because they definitely had some really good chances, but some injuries a couple of the years too kind of kept them down. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, it's not like they were in the conference championship every year, like a certain unnamed team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
But good for Dallas. They've been a while.
Yeah. Good.
Let them win a game. I mean, well, I guess that might make a lot of donut bag fans unhappy if they're Steeler fans. But people listening, that I said good for Dallas, but
I believe the Cowboys play the Rams, or they play New Orleans. I'm not
okay. So Eagles play the 1 seeds. They play the Saints
okay.
Right? Yeah, because Eagles were the So yeah, Dallas is going to play the Rams.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think I saw a quote after too. Like, the coach said the last time they played this year, like, the Eagles are a different team.
The Rams choked in the playoffs last year, so who's to say they're not going to choke again in the playoffs? So maybe Cowboys can go on a run.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it'll be tough, but still think the Rams maybe they won't choke this year, or at least they won't lose the first game. But
and then today's games, the 1:00 game, Chargers beat the Ravens 23-17. Did you see any of this game?
Oh yeah, I sat through most of the.
Oh, me too.
Wow.
At one point, the Ravens almost challenged the record for least first downs in a playoff game ever, or something like that.
Yeah, it was like, I think they had 3 at one point, pretty late in the second.
So this is just field goal extravaganza. Just Chargers kicking field goal after field goal. They were up 12-0. Then in the third quarter, Baltimore kicks one, and then they miss a field goal. Justin Tucker's supposed to be the best kicker ever, and he missed.
That was fun to see, just because we know what missed field goals are like.
Mm-hmm. And then Melvin Gordon scores a touchdown, make it 20-3. Then they kick another field goal, 23-3. Like, okay, this is it. This is it. Like, there's basically like halfway through the fourth quarter. It's like, okay, we're done. I almost like where I was watching the game, I almost left. I'm like, this thing's over.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Jackson becomes like this passing machine. Well, what was it? But basically, probably was the Chargers decided to go into prevent defense.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. They were.
And what does prevent defense do? It just prevents you from winning.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder to win, at least, or it makes it a closer game than it probably should be. It almost always does that. But they're just eliminating any kind of big play. And I don't know how much you watched of it. Did you finish out the game, or?
Yeah.
So there was that one third down play that, like, a very ill-advised pass just barely made it over the Chargers guys on that like third down and long or whatever. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah, I remember.
Jackson just lofted it up. It was like a punt, and made it to.
Was that the one where Jackson was running around like 50 yards, eluding everybody, like just going backwards and backwards, and he just throws it up, and it ended up being an amazing pass in the game.
The guy mistimed it, and it barely made, and it was like extremely lucky that wasn't intercepted. But good for the guy for making the catch and making it a game. I guess I don't know who caught it. I don't know if it was Snead or not. Might have been Snead, but.
So it came down to, it ended up being 23-17, and Ravens had the ball, and they were driving, and it ended up being, they smacked it out of Jackson's hands, and that's it. I mean, kudos to the Ravens for making it close at the end. But the debate was, do you put in Flacco? And people were telling me, no, you can't put in Flacco because what about Lamar Jackson's long-term development and blah, 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 blah. Who cares? You're trying to win the game now. I don't give a rat's butt about his long-term development or whatever.
Mental state after that.
How many times have you seen games where the quarterback sucks or is having a bad game and he gets benched? It happens. It doesn't mean you hate him forever. It just means
you're trying to win a bad
game. Yeah, you're trying to win the game. I'm shocked they didn't put in Flacco. I still think they should have done that. What do you think?
I mean, I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, I guess they did he did end up making some plays and getting it close, but I mean, I don't know. Did you see the shots of showing Flacco on the side? It looked like he wanted to be anywhere else but on that sideline for the game. He just looked disinterested. I don't know if there was any kind of issues with him at practices and stuff like that. Maybe he was checked out. I don't know, but I would have thought they would have, because in like the third quarter, didn't he have like 30 yards passing or something like that at one point?
Yeah,
I think it was like
it's. I mean, I heard. What did Flacco say? It's like, oh, it's not that much fun being a backup or something like that. Like, I mean, there's no good thing. No matter what he's gonna say, they're gonna rip it apart. So, like, okay, whatever. I mean, obviously, I don't care what your situation is. You don't want to be the backup, but. There's nothing you could say where it's going to be like, oh yeah, everything's great. So,
yeah, it's crazy, but I guess they found a new toy. They thought it was going to keep working, and they finally played a team for the second time.
Exactly, they played a team for the second time.
So they knew what they were doing. They had film on it, their own film that they could
exactly. You're not. You have this totally different thing, but they've seen it, so they are better prepared for it, and look what happened.
Yeah, and I think they said, what was it? I don't know the exact numbers, but I think like 56 of the 57 offensive plays, the Chargers had like I think a majority of like defensive backs out there or something, like playing defense instead of the bigger guys up front for whatever reason. And I guess it worked. Whatever adjustments they made, I mean, they weren't running the ball nearly as effectively.
Well, I hope the Ravens had a lot of linebackers covering Keenan Allen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's the other end of the discussion with the Steelers.
There was, I don't know, at one point, somebody had a false start penalty.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like, oh, gee, where have I seen this before?
Yeah, right.
Anyway,
the officiating this weekend had a lot of miscues.
Speaking of the officiating, the Eagles Bears game.
Segue.
What a segue. I didn't see this. I was busy at the time. And I ended up seeing it later. So they threw to the Bears guy. He ran for like 4 or 5 yards, and then he loses the ball, and they declare it an incomplete pass. Like, What?
That's what. Okay, was that like towards the end of the first half or something?
I
They
think
said
so. Yeah. I think so.